Hey Cloud Gamers, today we are looking at quality of default and ultra settings on Geforce Now across Assassin's Creed Odyssey and The Division 2. So starting with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a bit of footage just going across the rooftops here to our first freeze frame. You can see as we're moving about, there's not a lot in it. If anything, the motion is just slightly smoother on the default settings. And as we freeze frame looking over the water, we do see that Ultra has much better reflection on the water here. You can see the island reflection there and a better sheen to it as well. And as we look over at the ship, we can see a bit better depth of field and shading on the ship and sails itself. But otherwise, again, background not a lot different. As we pan around, again, it does feel slightly more fluid on the default settings. But we don't see a lot of difference in the detail until we jump down and freeze on the character here. You can see that on ultra settings, the detail on the character and its surroundings is far greater than on default. Pity you don't see much of the character. But during cutscenes, you do notice those ultra settings a bit more. As we do one of the syncs here, again, with lots of stuff on the screen, we don't see a lot of difference in the detail. In fact, the ultra side motion seemed a little bit smoother there, but looking at the detail of all the surroundings, it's very hard to tell which is which. As we come down, and again, we can see slightly better detail on the character model, but because there's so much on the screen, the difference of the default and ultra is very hard to tell. So we jump down into the bush here. This, again, with a close-up, you can really see the difference on the ultra side with the shadow there and the textures on the rocks and stuff. So I think it's personal preference as far as Assassin's Creed Odyssey goes. So let's move over to the Division 2. So we start off in the White House. Inside it's quite hard to tell as we move up to the first freeze frame at the craft station. And personally, I don't think there's really much in it here. It's very hard to tell which was default and ultra if I didn't have the labels up here. As we move down to the target range, you can see that actually on the target range, ultra does shine a little bit here. You can see much better detail on the character as well as the depth of field on the target range itself. So moving over to the settlement, this is where we do see some more of those differences on the ultra side with the extra contrast and detail on the finer points close by. As we come through here and upstairs to look out over the building, you can see that actually there's not a massive amount of difference apart from in the sky there we do see a bit more detail on ultra, and again the difference in the shading on the character is very difficult to see here. As we look here again on the building, doesn't seem to be a lot in it. As we freeze here and look at the child sat on the side and over the buildings, slightly better contrast on the ultra side, but again, really not much in it. As we come down the zip line at the back here, you see they're very similar, but as we come through and look at the back gate, ultra does have a bit more depth of field, and I do like the coloration on the truck here on ultra over default. And as the truck opens, we can see that actually with ultra we do get a better field of view, and looking at the stuff in the distance as well, we get much finer detail. Division 2 is much harder to do the restart. Assassin's Creed will automatically restart for you, whereas on the Division 2 you have to set it to windowed mode, minimize it, restart Uplay, and This makes you re-log in and authenticate and then start the game again. So it's extremely fiddly to get ultra settings on the Division 2, but the particle effects on ultra are very nice, as you can see there from the cluster mines. It's very detailed. So unless you are going to be playing for quite a long time and you know that your server is going to be solid, I would say stick with default. I tend to do that for shorter play sessions, as it does make the startup for Geforce Now Ultra on the Division 2 for about 5 minutes. So there you have it, that's the default settings versus Ultra on Geforce Now. Let me know in the comments what you guys are playing on and whether you bother going for the Ultra settings. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all of the latest from Cloud Gaming Extreme.